This video will go through some of our geometry rules. So here we have one of our very first rules for a triangle. And that if I add this angle, so A and angle B and angle C in any triangle, the three angles always add up to 180 degrees. So three angles in a triangle will always add up to 180. For an isosceles, the angles across from the equal sides will always be the same. So if that's 20, this has to be 20 degrees. Okay, so isosceles will have two angles that are the same. For an equilateral triangle, all angles will always be equal. Okay, since they'll always be equal and triangles add up to 180, 180 divided by 3 is 60 degrees. So this has to be 60. This has to be 60, and this has to be 60. Another rule is that the interior plus the exterior, well, they're on a straight line. Kind of, I think, put a protractor from start to finish, that's 180. That means that that angle and this angle, so the exterior and the interior, will always add up to 180. Meaning that this has to be, 152 degrees. Okay. Now here's one that people often forget, and that's that this exterior angle or any exterior angle always adds up to the sum of these, the other ones. So 95 comes from 60 plus 35. Okay, want to forget about that one. Let's say this 145 comes from 85 plus 60. Okay. Want to forget about that one. Let's look at the next one. This 120 comes from adding 85 and 35. Okay, so the exterior angle is the sum of the opposite to interior. Now let's look at some rules for when we have parallel lines. So here, this is what a parallel line symbol looks like. These, then you have a transversal that goes through them. If you see a Z pattern, okay, so that's what we call a Z pattern. It could be that way, it can be the opposite way. This angle and this angle, the inside ones, and this angle and this angle will always be the same. That's the Z pattern. Then you have an F pattern. So again, from parallel lines, so we have these symbols here. They all say that they're parallel. Okay. So the F can be in so many ways. It's under the lines. So here and here will be equal. If I look at it upside down, here and here is equal. Sideways, here and here is equal. Or again, upside down, here and here are equal. So we have Z, F. Now we have what's called a C pattern. So if you see, this is a C that forms, or the opposite direction. The angles on the insides, okay, will not be the same, so not the same. They will add up to 180. Then we have the X pattern, and the X pattern is where the opposite, sorry about that, the opposite sides will be the same. So if this was 20, this would be 20. Okay. So then if that is 20, then we know we can actually find this out because that's on a line, that's 180. So that would be 160, and that would be 160. So opposites will always be the same. Okay, two more rules. So the sum of interior angles of a polygon. So polygons are shapes. Okay. The interior angles of a polygon, they follow a formula. Okay. So that's n minus 2 times 180. Okay. N is basically the number of sides. your shape has. Okay. So I can look at this in any shape. So let's look at a parallelogram. There's 4 sides, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So n is 4. So I would do, to know the sum of the interior angles, it would be 4, that's my n, minus 2, times that by 180. That's 2 times 180, which is 360. That can work for any shape. I can do a 5-sided one. A little irregular here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. Same idea, sum of the interior. Now that I have 5 sides is 5 minus 2 times 180. So that is going to be 3 times 180. Which is 5, 5. Okay, so the last rule is the sum of the exterior and a polygon. So that can be a triangle. I want to add the outside angles. Say this. And this and this. It would have to always add up to 360. So any shape. The outside angles. That's a horrible drawing. Erase it. Doesn't. The idea is that they're always equal to, no matter what, 360. So it doesn't matter what shape. The outside will always add to 360. And that's a summary of some of the geometry rules.